did you think of the atmosphere, the crowd, and the rain? I mean, despite the rain, how much they were into it?
Oh, it was incredible. And when I went and sent the players to the locker room, what I tried to do was I held them in that dugout as long as possible. And I'm watching the radar, and Coach Bellinger's like, how many times are you going to watch that? And I'm watching this storm come, and it's like, man, the people are all still in the stands. And I'm like, I'm going to keep our players here as long as possible because I don't want them to leave the dugout because I'm afraid that people are going to leave. And you know what? We sent them back to the locker room, and we told them we didn't want them to get on their phones. We wanted them to be in the locker room and just hang out with each other, enjoy the moment and the time spent together. And when I came back out and I heard the announcement and they said, okay, we're going to open up the stadium or whatever again, and the people started flowing back in, I'm like, I cannot believe all these people are still here. And if you don't think that bah, 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 and them cheering like that doesn't help, man, you're crazy, because I'm confident that they helped us win that game today, and I couldn't be more appreciative.
Can you talk through the moments that what you were feeling on that last out, and then seeing the dog pile and seeing them, run to the outfield, greet the fans, and kind of climb the fence in the outfield?
So every time I've ever been a part of a championship, and the Lord has really blessed me, I've been a part of a bunch, and what I've always do is first I want to go shake the hands of our opponents to be respectful to them, and then I just go sit in the chair and I just watch, and I watch them celebrate. And I couldn't control myself. I was crying because I've been around these guys for, 11 months now, 10 or 11 months, and I know how hard they've worked in all areas of their life, not just baseball. And if you were to ask me, hey, what's your favorite thing as a coach, as far as on the field goes, it's to watch my players celebrate a championship, because I believe this with all my heart. They just did something that's never been done before in the history of the baseball program. We've been playing baseball over 100 years here. And they're going to be able to tell their kids, they're going to be able to tell their families, they're going to be able to tell their wives, and hopefully the baseball thing works out and they play 10 years in the big leagues, and if it doesn't, they go into business, I promise this equips them. I promise this goes way deeper than just baseball. This makes them believe that they can do things that have never done before, and that's really powerful.
Derek in the front, then Brian in the back.
Nick, with the pitching staff tonight, was it managed the way you wanted it to, or did you have to change things up whenever Flo got in trouble to bring Sale in, or was that just what you wanted?
So we sat in the locker room as a coaching staff, and we just basically said, okay, best case scenario, low Salo jelly. It's exactly what we talked about. But we didn't know how that was going to go. So we had Pop down there. He was ready to go. Justin Lewis was ready to go. That played out in the exact order of names of how we played it out in our brain before the game. Exactly. And Pop was our wild card. We had him ready to rock and roll.
The ebbs and flows of the game. Early on, it seemed like you could not catch a break. The diving catch in center field, and it was like, is it going to happen? Was there a moment in the game when you felt, okay, now we've got it on track?
So their offense is really good. So you don't ever feel like you have a big enough lead against them just because I think their offense is that good. And, we've played some teams where they didn't have that type of offense. So you felt like, man, you get a 3-run lead and, hey, you're safe because 3 runs feels like 6. But that wasn't the case. When we scored those 3 runs in the 7th, I thought that was huge. I thought that was a big moment in the game. And then obviously in the 9th inning when we got 3 more, I thought that was, now we just doubled them up and it's 10-5, and I thought it'd be difficult to recover. Excuse me, especially the way Sean was throwing the ball.
Then Jerry.
Nick, you're down in Chapel Hill, you've lost on Sunday, the kids are upset, and you keep telling them, we're going to be good, we're going to win, and they were like, Did you envision this even then?
I didn't know. I didn't. When I envisioned this was when we lost our 4th game in a row. When we lost to Liberty, and we lost on the road again by 1 run. And I saw how hard our guys competed. When people ask me next year, you're going to ask me, hey, how good this team's going to be, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know until I know if they can take a punch. Until you get punched in the face, I don't know how tough my team was. and we got punched in the face 4 times in a row. And we had lost 4 games by a total of 5 runs, and they never stopped competing. Never. And I remember standing on that bus and telling them that these losses were my fault. And that I'm going to make some adjustments, but you guys just keep competing your hearts out. You guys are awesome. We're going to do it. And I saw how tough our team was. But after that 4th loss, that's when I knew we can do something. But because when everything's going well, that's great. But I love the saying, you learn a lot about somebody by the way they act when things don't go their way. And the things weren't going our way. We were 0-4, and our guys just loved on each other. They competed their hearts out, and they never gave a pitch away. And I knew we had really good players. I knew we had really good coaches, and I just knew this could be possible.
Jerry.
Can you put in perspective, Sean throwing 107 pitches Friday, 2 days rest, and then 3 hitless innings tonight?
Yeah, so I knew that was going to be the question. So to understand a pitcher's 7-day routine, Sean Jelly, every single Friday he throws, right? He pitches. And every Monday he throws a bullpen. So today's his bullpen day. And the bullpen is usually about 25 to 35 pitches, right? Do you know how many pitches he threw today? 35.
Yeah.
So there was, the part that was so impressive with that is he threw 35 pitches in 3 1/3 innings, right? That's really, you want to talk about being economical and efficient with 5 strikeouts. Right? Normally strikeouts jack the pitch count up. There's 15 alone right there, right? In just his punch outs. So this was a normal day. He had been lobbying. He knew he wanted the ball. And I just, with Logan throwing yesterday and coming back, we like to put him in the middle because Jelly, he's closed games before, right? Last year he set the freshman record for saves, right? I think he had 8 as a freshman. So being his bullpen day and with everything on the line, when you have the SEC pitcher of the year and he's set up to throw a bullpen anyway, you might as well use him.
You guys only have time for a few more, and they've all been reserved. We'll start with Derek in the front.
Nick, in postseason play, a game like this, a bunch of small things you overlook, but how important do you think it was for guys like Rex to be able to get down Bonds, Carson, on the safety squeeze?
Yeah, crucial. You saw our offense. At one point, we had 6 hits and 10 runs. Let that soak in. Right? We had 6 hits. We had more runs than we did hits, right? That's not normal when we did not hit a home run. So you guys heard me talk about offense. There's different, I love pizza, right? You guys have heard me do the pizza example, right? So when you think of a pizza, there's 8 different slices. Well, when you think of offense, it's like that pizza. Well, hitting is only one slice of that pizza. There's strike zone discipline, which we did an awesome job of. There's the HBP, there's situational hitting, there's bunting, there's base running, there's base stealing. All these things go into offense. And we showed our offense tonight. We showed and we fired all our bullets and we ate all the different slices of pizza because it was going to take everything.
Alex, and then we'll end over here.
You mentioned Cole was kind of an unsung hero of yesterday. For him to have that obviously huge double, what do you think that meant to him and what seems to be an emotional day for him?
Yeah, he has been great these past 2 days. Guys, we just played 5 games in 4 days. That's hard. And he caught 18 innings yesterday, and we wanted to put him back in. And you know what? We would not be here if it wasn't for Troy Squires, right? The job that he's done. So when you got 2 good catchers that way, Cole's been swinging a hot bat. He hasn't caught as much. Troy has caught a ton. We just felt like, I think going into the last 10 games, Cole was almost hitting 500. So when you start putting all those things in, and the way the ballpark was playing early in the week, it was pretty offensive. And we just thought, hey, Cole, this would be a good opportunity for Cole to get in there, and it allowed us to get Becker in there. And but we wouldn't be here without Troy Squires. But boy, has Cole caught him. I mean, was he special and continued his hot hitting ways, and he deserves it because when we went and we started catching Troy in all those games in a row, he never one time. When I went up to him, I told you guys yesterday, hey, man, you're not doing anything wrong. Stay with it. He's like, no problem, Coach. I got it. And all he's done is prepare for this moment. And when you have a guy that prepares the way he does, you're confident he's going to succeed.
Nick, when you're on the field there at the end, Mike, what are you thinking? Did you plan that beforehand? What was the mood like for that?
So I didn't know that, and I don't remember if it was Greg or Nathan who was. I think it was Greg. He handed me the mic and said, hey, you want to talk? I'm like, yeah, I can't miss this opportunity, right? Plus, I've never been shy to talk. But I just couldn't miss that opportunity to thank the fans because you guys especially you local guys, I mean, it's local media. It's been unbelievable when you just sit there and we take those bleachers down. It doesn't even look like the same stadium, and to see that many people there. And it was really important for me to bring Kristen and Reeves out there because we talk all the time about having a family atmosphere, and you don't get to do what I do and the rest of our coaches if you don't have amazing wives. So they needed to see that, and they needed to see Reeves out there because it truly takes everyone, including my wife and my son and all the sacrifices she makes, and then all the sacrifices our fans made. I mean, it was like 1 o'clock, wasn't it? Like 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, like people got to work tomorrow. It's like, man, it just showed how much people really, really love UK baseball and how much our young men mean to them.
Coach, thanks for your time. Congratulations and good luck next week.
Thank all of you for putting on everything you do for our program. You guys have helped